Hi everyone, my name is Sandra Lee and I just got back from 2 weeks at the Human Garage, completing the 16 session protocol, and I wanted to share my experience with you. I'm 45 and I was also diagnosed with multiple sclerosis when I was 40, so it was a great birthday present. And I had two pretty devastating exacerbations where I had lost full mobility in the right side of my arm, and then the second one I had lost mobility in my legs and was in a wheelchair and a walker for about 6 months. So it was pretty devastating to someone who had been hiking 14,000 foot peaks in Colorado to think that I may never walk again. But it's been a long road to recovery, and the Human Garage has kind of been the cherry on top of everything that has really helped me get to a point where now I'm able to take things to a next level, and I want to share what had happened during those 2 weeks. So we had heard about the Human Garage actually through some of the peeps that many of you may already listen to, Ben Greenfield, Mike Bledsoe, the Chris Kresser, entire paleo community, and it was some videos that had intrigued us to check out the Human Garage, and we put ourselves on the waiting list and gotten on and had our consultation with Gary. It was very enlightening, the pictures we had sent showing our current alignment and issues. Visually you could see that structurally our bodies were not aligned very well, and we discussed what they could do for us. And one of the big things with me personally is that I've had gut issues my entire life, which was also a part of the contributing factor for me and MS, was a bad diet many years prior. And one of the things that the Human Garage helped to do was do a lot of fascia release around my gut area to allow my digestion system to work better. I already knew through urinalysis tests and other tests that my body was holding toxins. And so I'll be very excited that as things are moving forward to get the results of the second set of tests, because I already can say I feel better with the supplementations that I have been taking, and since the release in my gut, just how everything's moving so much better. The 2 weeks was set up that we were going to have a couple sessions every day. For us, we were traveling from Ontario, so we were trying to get in as much as we could, and also trying to take into consideration how much work this was going to be on our central nervous systems and how much our bodies could tolerate. Fortunately, unfortunately, it was raining the entire time we were there, which in hindsight actually turned out really well, because we were able to rest and get 10 to 11 hours of sleep at our hotel, take Epsom salt baths and hot tub to help deal with the impacts that that much treatment has on your central nervous system. But the 2 weeks was set up that we had some releases and then some fascia released, said chiro. We met with the nutritionalist. We talked about how things have been going. When we did our first consultation in October, we had been able to get started on the supplementation before we had come, which helped our bodies to be more accepting of some of the treatments and receive more benefit, because we were already working on some of those issues that the tests that we had taken through Human Garage had already shown us. And it was quite amazing those 2 weeks. And for me personally, because anything impacting my central nervous system with MS can be not great at times. And I was very impressed at how well my body had actually handled the treatment. One of the other big changes for me happened on one of the very first treatments that I had, which was 3 or 4 of the Human Garage personnel working on you at once. I had some releases in my Achilles, my calves, my abductors, a bunch of other places you guys were pulling and poking, that immediately I saw benefit, and actually it still lasted in my balance. With MS, that's another huge thing, is that balance is very difficult. And I had been through multiple people prior to that would do releases in my calves and my Achilles to help me stand better. I basically looked like I was standing on a ball. I never could obtain any balance. And what was not happening is that my whole leg was not firing properly. What the release allowed things to do was basically my big toe to connect with the ground. And then all of a sudden my leg felt like it could actually grip where I was standing. So I do a lot of ballet and with my daughter, and I was actually able to hold leg lift poses in every direction and not put them down. I know you guys were laughing at me while I was standing over there at the kitchen, moving my leg, just trying out my new body. I was so excited, almost had tears in my eyes. Then working up from the ankles, we get into the hips. Oh my goodness, this was probably one of the biggest areas that needed the most work, that a lot of the people that I had been going through, we knew there were issues, but just they were so deep and couldn't seem to get through to them. Basically, I had the anterior pelvic tilt issues, and the work that was actually done in my pelvic area basically tilted everything back the way that it should be, that everything was now stacking on top of each other. I almost felt like I was floating when I was walking. I didn't feel any pain anymore. One of an old injury that I had done when I first got into doing animal movement, and if Ido Portal, looking at the type of work he does, I had accidentally swung my leg around in one of the grounding moves and really probably popped my hamstring several years ago, and that injury has been bothering me ever since. One of the therapists there was able to work on it and actually release it. And the emotional release that came along with knowing and even having any hope that I would have gotten that addressed out of it was just awesome. I can't thank all of you enough for that portion of it, because that's just something that it showed me that the possibilities of being able to be pain-free are truly there. What I do know, and what everyone else should know, is that it does take work afterwards, having this type of release, to retain it. The trainer that I work with here back at home is excellent. We do a lot of gymnastics types of moves. And so our approach since we've been back is to really take things very slow, keep full range of mobility, and basically slowly start to strengthen those muscles that haven't been firing the proper way. I would say I've felt very weird at times because it's basically I've got a new body and trying to function differently, remembering not to fall into those bad habits of slouching, bad posture that just over time creep up and cause problems. So that's been really good. Our trainer here has definitely, and even myself with some of the moves that we do on the rings, I always had a blind spot in which my core just was not firing at all, and I would just drop. When you're doing like the candlestick position upside down on the rings, and you try to, kind of come down slowly and then lever out. Obviously a blind spot there. I just couldn't do it. And now it's like I can actually start doing that really slowly. So we fully expect that as my mobility continues and these muscles are firing properly, that my strength and the things I'm going to be able to do will exponentially show an increase in that. And I definitely, as the time moves on, I'll show you the before and after pictures, because even for myself, they're pretty amazing. One of the other big things that I know we fully didn't probably expect to get out of the human garage was the connection. We felt like we had a community. We are in a small community, and not a lot of people talk about these types of things. Both myself and my husband have critical illnesses. He's 48, he has type 1 diabetes. We both work super hard at trying to be healthy and deal with, the card deck life dealt us. And to be able to go talk to people and hear things that is new, innovative. We were fully open to trying anything, and if you want to call it drinking the Kool-Aid, I don't care. At the end of the day, we're reaping the benefits, because both he and I have definitely seen remarkable improvement and changes, and his are even better than mine, because of some of the issues that he deals with, diabetic complications in frozen shoulders, knees, issues like that. He was a professional drummer there for many years, so his body was quite contorted in a very bad position for a long time, and being able to now get in proper squatting positions has just been exciting to see him be able to take things to that level for himself also. For myself and husband, seeing and going to the Human Garage has been one of the best things that we have done for ourselves. And being able to learn all the stuff that we've learned from each and every one of the individuals, and the way that they approach it, the way that they look at it, the hacks, the ways of just how you can improve the performance in your own body is just absolutely amazing. So just want to say thank you to you guys for everything that you've done for us, and we are definitely a big supporter of you, and will continue to help spread the word on the great work many of you are doing at the Human Garage.